But we do want to stay with the mode of celebration and hear this afternoon how colleagues in the room and colleagues from other RPIW events have been helping to improve the care, particularly looking at patient safety. So it's a bit of a patient safety takeover this afternoon, but we'll also hear from Amy and how the respiratory discharge value stream has now moved into a wider care group value stream looking at standard work and how that work is spreading throughout the organisation. And incident reporting and our confidence in incident reporting isn't just about how we demonstrate through the staff survey that we are engaged as staff and we're willing to flag up those safety issues. We know how to do it and when to do it, but it's about saving lives. It's about somebody saying this drug package looks like another drug package. No harm has occurred, but if we change it, we can save lives and we can share that across not just our organisation, but other organisations. So when you're wondering, do you report or don't you report, if you think somebody else needs that knowledge, please do. So I'm immensely proud of the work that all the RPIW has been doing to try and make that easier, and you're going to hear again about that this afternoon. So the only other thing I want to say, because I'm just going to give my colleagues as well a warning, I have a time up sign this afternoon because I know that some of you need to finish at 1 and get to other meetings as well. So I just want to say that Melissa Lynn will be back with us for the week of the 4th of June. And if you want to take her help or advice on how do you make some of those changes stick, how do you spread them, then she'll be here for the whole week. So just give me a ring, an email, get one of the team, and we'll make sure you've got time to pick her brains as well. So let's get really stuck in celebrating all the good work and hear from the RPIW team.
Right, good afternoon. So I'm Richard Stevens, Kaizen Promotion Office Specialist, and I was the workshop lead for this RPIW. This week's RPIW has been focusing on the investigation of no harm incidents in gynae ward. We've been fortunate to have gathered an enthusiastic team who've worked extremely hard to improve the process this week, including 2 ward managers, a quality improvement lead from Women's and Children's, an EDC stores manager and paediatric medical secretary. We were also joined by a patient representative, Stacey, and Keris, who is on work experience for Monday, both of whom provided challenge and input some great ideas that the team have taken forward. I will now hand you over to the team to tell their story.
Good afternoon, my name's Mary-Claire Wigley and I'm a KPO Specialist and have been the team lead for this RPIW. The Target Progress Report for this RPIW has 6 metrics. The baseline metrics are from direct observation with the target set by our sponsor. The total lead time for this RPIW, from when the triage of the incident is carried out to when investigation review is completed and documented, is 21,607 minutes, and the target set by our sponsor was 7,200 minutes. The second lead time measure from triage completed to initiate investigation had a baseline of 2,880 minutes with a target of 720 minutes, which was reduced to 360 minutes during the week by our sponsor. 3 quality defects were identified as follows. 71% of incidents that were sent to the ward manager are redirected for investigation. 100% of incidents are not investigated in the ward manager's absence, and 28% of the time patient notes were not available if needed when the local manager commenced the initial investigation. The target for all these quality metrics was 0% defect. Our last metric was measured using the 5S tool, looking at the investigation section on the DATIX form. The baseline measure was level 1 with a target of level 4. The TAC time or pace of the work for DATIX reports submitted to the gynae team was 562.5 minutes. The boundaries for this value stream are from when a safety incident report is triaged to when the investigation is complete and documented in the DATIX system. The cycle boxes show what happens at each step in the process and who is involved. It shows how long each step takes and the waits between each step. The Kaizen bursts demonstrate defects and wastes in the process. The current value-added time for the patient in this process is just 1%. The process flow chart showed the wastes on the pink post-its, and the red and yellow wool showed the flow as inappropriately timed and with defects. The team will now tell you about the work that they have done.
Hello, my name is Leslie Stokes and I'm the ward manager for Gynae, and I'm also the process owner. So what was the problem? So we identified a delay in investigating incidents due to myself being the only investigator on the ward. This is exacerbated during times of leave as no other staff had DATEX login. This resulted in incidents being left in the being reviewed area for quite some time. So the ideas we had to solve this problem was to give all Band 6 and Senior Band 5 DATEX login details and to provide guidance and training. Our daily huddles were also looked at to reduce time and share information. Agendas and SPDs were produced to facilitate this. We tested this with staff who were very much engaged, very much keen to be involved and who wanted to develop. PDSA was used with the staff to test new processes. The results were that no and low harm incidents will be investigated in my absence, resulting in potentially reducing the lead time by 90%.
Hello, my name is Sian Silgram and I'm the ward manager of Ward 4. So what was the problem? No staff on Gynae had any training or experience in investigating the incidents using the DATEX system, leaving DATEX not being addressed when the ward manager is absent. What is the idea to solve the problem? Was to produce a folder to assist and walk through how to answer a no or low harm DATEX and to also improve DATEX turnaround and learning for the ward. What did we test? Following PDSA cycles, staff simulated answering low or no harm DATEXs using the DATEX resource folder, which includes the process of answering DATEXs, memory capture forms, DATEX feedbacks forms in the form of a receipt which could be used towards revalidation, and a monthly theme form addressing the monthly issues. The results were: we introduced a standard process description for answering DATEXs of low or no harm, the DATEX resource folder, which provides staff with guidance with helping them confidently complete a low or no harm DATEX. Burden was withdrawn from the ward manager. It reduces lead time when the ward manager was absent and improve ward learning. It also introduced the monthly themes form for reflection for staff, and also as a Lean for Leader, I'm going to take these ideas onto my ward, and through our production and people link board we can utilise these ideas because I have similar issues on my area as well.
Hello, my name is Carol Binsley. I'm a paediatric medical secretary in the Women and Children's Centre. A problem was identified with a delay in completing a DATEX investigation due to the time wasted locating and retrieving notes. Laminated size A5 size red cards have been created as a visual control which will be attached to the front of the notes on the ward or in the outpatients department once the DATEX has been submitted. Red stickers have also been created as a visual control to be attached to the nursing notes, again to indicate that a DATEX has been submitted. Notes will then be put into an allocated red tray which will be situated in the doctor's office on Ward 14. These visual aids will be put in a clear view on all of the nursing stations, on the ward and in clinic areas and reception in the outpatients department. All of these new measures will be discussed at daily and nightly huddles. A simulated trial was performed using the red card and red sticker visual aids with HCAs, ward staff, GATU and the outpatients department, with very positive feedback received. Notes will then be more easily accessible, becoming visual and with allocated areas in order to be returned promptly to the investigating member of staff in order to complete a DATEX investigation in a much reduced time.
Hello, my name is Mina Williams. I am the RSH Electronic Data Capture Stores Manager. I was the fresh eyes in the process. All staff we spoke to highlighted the lack of training of submitting the DATEX and did not feel confident in doing so. Drawing on previous RPIWs, we updated the DATEX guide. Additionally, we worked with the corporate education and patient safety team. The idea to solve the problem was to produce a step-by-step guide and a video which will be shown at corporate induction and SSU training. Following feedback, we have placed the step-by-step guides at every computer, the same as MLU did on their last RPIW. We hope this is going to lead to a systematic change throughout women and children's as soon as possible. Leslie is going to commence in-house training next week. We also have spoken to Tom George, Corporate Education, and Sam Carling, Patient Safety, who have agreed to do a 10-minute video and show it to all staff on corporate induction, also an SSU training, and in the future date, look at it going into the Foundation of Supervisory and Line Manager course, which we run in the Trust.
Hello, my name is Francine Moore. I'm the new Quality Improvement Lead for Gynae and Paediatrics. Another issue we looked at after discussions with our managers and other managers across PRH was that some investigations are returned requiring further information, and managers experience delays obtaining statements from DATEX inputters due to staff shift patterns and annual leave. To solve this problem, we wanted to produce guidance for staff undertaking low to no harm investigations that don't require an RCA, and we wanted that guidance linked into DATEX. We also wanted to provide a place within DATEX for staff to write a personal statement or an account of what happened and what they did to resolve the situation while that information was fresh in their mind. To explore this in further detail, we met with Sam Carling, Patient Safety Manager, to review our guidance and our changes to DATEX that we would need. Sam was extremely supportive and met with Anna Drysdeck to make these changes that we've asked for, and those changes are live now on DATEX. We gained feedback from staff to see if our investigation guidance was useful, and staff reported back that it was easy to understand. Also, feedback from staff regarding writing a personal statement or a personal account at the time of an incident was a positive move, as staff felt that they wouldn't need to come in at a later date and do a statement at that point. In addition to the new processes above, Joy Oxenham has agreed to support a weekly DATEX meeting with the Gynae management team to ensure we're reviewing all new DATEX and existing DATEX investigations to ensure that we keep momentum going. So at the start of this week, we reviewed our process using the 5S principles and found that we were at a level 1 within the framework. At the end of this week, we've moved to a very strong level 2 and progressing to level 3.
Through the work this week, we've achieved so much. The future state process flowchart shows waits and delays in the process have been reduced, and that waste has been removed from each process steps. The home team and gynecology have been fantastic support this week. They have willingly given feedback and ideas we've been trialling, as well as continuing their busy roles. The work continued beyond this week. My role as process owner is to help embed these changes through the newspaper. I will see through outstanding actions, which I'll report back to the value stream sponsor team. I'll remeasure our matrix at 30, 60, 90 days, and I look forward to sharing these with you in the future.
The away team have been a pleasure to work with this week. They have worked so well together, and even though they're a small team, they have made huge improvements. The value stream map shows that a number of the Kaizen bursts have been addressed and the lead time reduced. The lead time has now improved to 360 minutes, a fantastic 98% improvement. The second lead time from when the incident report is triaged to when the investigation is initiated is now 46 seconds, a 99.9% improvement. The quality defect of looking at the percentage of incidents that are sent to the ward manager and redirected for investigation has been difficult to measure this week. Leslie will monitor this at 30, 60 and 90 days. The defects considering the percentage of incidents not investigated in the ward manager's absence and the percentage of times patient notes are not available for the initial investigation have now both reached their target of 0%. The 5S of the DATEX form has improved from a level 1 to a level 2.
So this week again has shown the power of providing time and headspace to dive deep into a process to make improvements that benefits both patients and staff. By pursuing the removal of waste and thinking more creatively to challenge the status quo, we find opportunities to make the best use of time we have by sharing and levelling the work. The home team has been particularly responsive to change and have relished the opportunity to take on extra responsibility with involvement in the investigation process. What seems a simple solution can yield great results, and I'm proud of the team for working hard to think beyond the immediate Gemba and identify potential for trust-wide rollout. Here are some reflections from the team. So it doesn't have to be a massive change to make an impact. Small changes such as putting a card on notes makes a big difference and saves time. This works, so can we have more training? And the methodology provides positivity and innovation. I would like to thank Marie-Claire as our team leader for steering the team throughout the week, Julia, our sponsor, for her challenging targets, which, as we've already said, changed during the week because we're working so well. Yvonne for her support to the team, and all those who help provide feedback and challenge throughout the week, as shown on this slide. Thank you.
Hello, my name's Julia Palmer. I'm the Head of PALS and Complaints. I'm on the sponsor team for the Patient Safety Value Stream, and I had the privilege of being sponsor for this RPIW. I want to congratulate the away team for the fantastic work they've done this week, and to thank the home team for being so responsive to all the changes that have been tried out. This is such an important area for the Trust, and there have been some really good improvements made this week. I set the away team the challenge of coming up with a process that would enable us to have rapid and high quality investigations of no and low harm incidents. And as you've heard, they did so well. I was able to challenge them even further during the week, and they have more than met those challenges. There's some really good practice that's been established this week that can be rolled out. Some of it, as you've heard, has already been rolled out in terms of the DATEX form being updated and being used across the Trust. And I'm delighted there's even more planned. They've not stuck to this week, but there's more planned in terms of further training that, again, will be rolled out across the Trust. Really looking forward to the remeasures that Leslie's going to do to see how those improvements are being sustained. And I'll continue to work with Leslie and with the sponsor team on this important work. And I would say to the away team, be proud of what you've achieved this week. Thank you all.
Right then, hello, my name is Lucy Murcott and I'm the Acting Ward Manager at Wrekin Maternity Unit, and I was the process owner for the Patient Safety Value Stream RPIW number 2, completion of DATEX, which took place between the 26th of Feb and the 2nd of March. I'm here to complete my 60-day remeasures. The lead time from when an incident occurs until the incident is saved in review by the local manager was a baseline 6 days, and it is now 3 hours, a 98% improvement. The time to complete a DATEX form was 4.5 minutes at the 60-day remeasures, a 44% improvement. This means that the patient safety incidents reported via DATEX are taking less time to report and review, meaning that staff have more time to care and the incidents are being shared and dealt with so any learning can influence practice and increase safety for our service users. The implementation metrics monitored the safety huddles have been improved since the 30-day remeasures. The daytime huddle is taking place 87% of the time and the nighttime huddle 75% of the time. I am continuing to work with the team and individuals to embed the safety huddles and aim towards a 0% defect rate. I have already rolled out the safety huddle to the community midwifery team, which has seen 100% implementation over the past 57 days. They have very much embraced the concept and have noted an improved flow in the community workload and the rapid communication of patient safety incidents. I will continue with the PDSA of the work and look forward to sharing the 90-day remeasures with you all. Thank you.
Hi everybody, my name's Laura Kavanagh and I am a Workforce Business Partner for the Trust. I was the sponsor for the DATEX value stream, the completion value stream that Lucy's just updated you on. So what a week we had, Lucy. Lucy led the team really well in setting the home team up and then took her enthusiasm and her energy into the actual RPIW week. Worked really well with one of our service users as well, so we had a really productive, really exciting week. made some really great changes that I'm really pleased to hear as a sponsor. We've been able to remeasure, and we've managed to maintain the consistency and also start to roll out the learning into different parts of the MLU as well. Lucy talked to you about the community team. So we, throughout the week, also spent some time within the RPIW learning from other areas, and I was really pleased to, and I want to continue to see us learning from areas throughout the RPIWs. Lucy and the team went to A&E at Telford to see how they used their DataX system and how they used feedback in the moment, and that's something that for this particular value stream we're really keen to continue to develop and to share. So my challenge now for you, Lucy, and for the RPIW members is to maintain the focus on improving experience of reporting and to help our staff to be able to make the reporting experience user-friendly, speedy, and make sure that they can spend their time delivering care to patients too.
We're going to Shrewsbury to hear from Deirdre.
Hello.
Hi.
In the guiding team, there's a degree of competitiveness, and as ex-sponsor for this value stream, I'm feeling like I'm inching up the league tables here. So well done, folks. Your efforts are fabulous. There's a couple of things, well, there's a few things that I want to call out for celebration. One, I think the enthusiasm of all the people involved in this value stream needs to be celebrated. And I've heard more than on one occasion that people are keen to be involved. And I think the input of patients in our value streams, like Stacey, is completely invaluable as the recipients of care, so I think that needs to be celebrated. I also would like to celebrate and call out Sean's take on of the DataX resource folder on Ward 4. So I think it's fantastic to see rapid rollout of anything that touches patient safety. I also would like to highlight the devolved leadership. So Leslie spoke about, in her absence, the DataX's work being reviewed. And now there is a process by which, even with the absence of the ward manager, there's devolved leadership, and I think we should aspire to that throughout the trust. So well done, guys. It's also really pleasing to hear the input of a fresh eyes approach. I think all of us need a fresh eyes approach in our standard work to ensure that we're going in the right direction. So well done there, guys. And then just finally, I think it's really, really fabulous to hear the introduction of extended learning into reporting incidents and learning from incidents into corporate induction. And I think we'll see the benefit of that hugely, so really well done. And very finally, the RPIW2, it's just amazing to hear that you've sustained the improvements at 60 days, which absolutely ensures that our learning is expedited and that we're being more responsive to our incidents. So well done, really, really proud.
So, hello, my name is Amy and I am the ward sister on Ward 32 short stay and the process owner for the 7th RPIW for the discharge value stream. The focus of the RPIW was exploring the role of criteria-led discharge forms for our patients. During the RPIW, the team created a criteria-led discharge performer for use at admission. We created standard work for the red to green trackers and improved the process of how we identify patients who require transport on the day of discharge, and also introduced visual controls in the Bay areas to identify discharge patients. Remeasures have been done at 30 and 60 days. Since the RPIW, the lead time from when the information is gathered to inform me of my discharge to leaving Ward 32 short stay has reduced from 215 minutes to 90 minutes. The introduction of CAS packs for patients' medications has reduced the steps taken by staff to collect FP10 prescriptions from 440 steps to 57 steps. Since the RPIW, no patients have missed transports up to 6-day remeasures, and more patients have been discharged by midday. It's gone up from 15.6% to 29.2%, and we'll keep striving to continuous improvement. The 5S of the ward bed space is now gone up to a level 3. The number of patients with criteria-led discharge performance has gone up to 16%. A couple of lessons that I've learned are that implementing change can be tricky at times. With a whole team on board, it can be achieved. For example, our lack of drip stands and using paper clicks to hang IVs has completely stopped, and we now have enough stands to safely and correctly administrate these medications. Since the RPIW, there's been a few barriers as well to also achieving 100% change. For example, we're still not allowed FP10s on the ward, so on occasions that we don't have CAS packs, we still have to go to AMU to pick an FP10 up in order for the patient to leave the ward. And I'd just like to thank the home team for all their support and cooperation with the changes that have been and are still being made, and the sponsors and the KPO team have helped me and supported me along the journey.
Hello everyone, my name is Edwin Bowman, Medical Director and the sponsor for the 5th RPIW of Value Stream 2 on sepsis. Kathy, could you point to the various things as we go along? So I'm reporting the 60-day remeasures for this RPIW, and as you'll see, the lead time has gone up since the 30 days, but remains below what it was before. It's above the challenge that I set to the team, and I'm really keen to see that we have the sustained improvement. So it's now at 57 minutes. That may be related to the work in progress, so they have been really busy in this particular area. And we've had 7 patients involved in the remeasures. If you look at the quality defects, I'm pleased to see that the transport of blood to the laboratory is one of the key elements of the sepsis 6. We've had 0 defects, which is a significant and sustained improvement. But what we've not found is that documentation has been consistently achieved. And in fact, this reads across to one of the challenges throughout the Trust, which is ensuring that everything is appropriately documented for our sepsis patients. So 2 out of the 7 patients did not have the full documentation completed. Over the page, Kathy, when we do look at the environmental side, the 5S has seen significant improvement, so we've gone from a level 1 to level 3, good. But we're finding that we still do require the full number of operators as is current. I have to say, I sort of anticipated this. You do need to have the team, but this also is reflective of the degree of efficiency with which those team members are working. Setup reduction, the significant improvement that's been sustained. We no longer count in minutes. If you have a look at the pre-measures, we now really do count this sustainably in seconds. And we're down to 45 seconds for the setup time reduction. In terms of the implementation metric, something that I've taken away for reflection, the use of the sepsis trolley specifically and the sepsis bundle utilization is not yet complete in all cases. So clearly more work needs to be done with the team, looking to see that there is engagement, ownership and use of that. I've tried to keep this short because we've got a special trust board immediately afterwards. No hint or anything to you, Simon.
Checking that you can see me okay, Kathy?
Yes, thank you.
Excellent. Well, first of all, it's raining cats and dogs here, so I hope the weather's a lot nicer at PRA, so apologies that I'm not with you to celebrate face-to-face with the teams, but what a fantastic week they've had, and what great results. The lead time started out at 48 hours and went down to 3 hours. If you consider the improvements that we need to make when we become aware of an issue that's happening and a datix is generated. One of the areas of weakness that's been raised by our teams has been the concern that we need to know about things really quickly and be able to act on them. So being able to bring this down to a level that allows us to act on the day that we become aware of something is really important. And we saw that in terms of the 5 hours going down to less than a minute in terms of the other lead time for that RPIW. So if you can imagine that if we can take the learning from particularly no harm, but also low harm, then we can prevent it from becoming medium or high or severe. So that's a really important focus for us, because that's the journey towards us trying to eradicate harm from any of our patients. It's quite scary, wasn't it, to hear that the process we had only gave a value added to our patients of 1%. That's really quite a frightening figure. And again, it just reminds us of why this journey is so important, because a lot of what we're doing is creating a lot of work needlessly, which isn't actually helping our patients or our teams. So I think that was a good reminder for me. I loved the DATIX themes form. I thought that was excellent. And it was lovely to hear the Lean for Leaders spread piece as well. So really, really excellent. And a lot was achieved. 8 Kaizen bursts out of 10 is a lot of work. So, you know, the team have really been motoring. So brilliant, brilliant effort. In terms of Lucy and the work at Rekin, those further improvements that you've achieved as you've moved through the 30 days to 60 days are really important. And the fact that we need to be able to measure at 30 days and 60 days, as Edwin was describing, is so important, because we need to see that consistent improvement. And on a number of the measures today, what we've seen is them actually improve as we've moved through to 60 days. And that's so important. We need to be able to find a way to make these changes stick and get the benefits for our patients. I just want to linger, Amy, a little on the work on criteria-led discharge, because I think this is really important work. So if we look at what we're doing, if we think about those midday discharges, as we stand here today, if you're admitted into our hospital late in the afternoon, you're likely to have a 4-day length of stay longer than if you're admitted in the morning. So the more we're able to place our patients into the environment, but, you know, before lunchtime, the less time they will spend with us in our hospital, which means that they're more likely to go home. And that's got to be the right outcome, hasn't it? So this is really, really important work. And finally, when we talk about how is our organisation becoming safer and kinder, well, this is it, isn't it? The things we've heard today are wonderful examples of an organisation that is learning and becoming safer and kinder. Thank you very much.
Simon, if it's okay on your behalf, we're going to ask Julia to present the certificates in the room here.
Yeah, it's fine.
Thank you.
Shall I?
If you shout the name.
Sam.
Thank you. Well done.
They're all busy on the ward.
Hey, so just to say thank you very much for coming. I believe the weather is going to get better for the weekend, so please enjoy. And remember, we have a celebration, whether it's a stand-up or report out, every Friday now, so look forward to seeing you again. Thank you.
Thank you.